All right, so this is a little bit of an impromptu video. I don't know how long it's going to go, but I'll try to keep it short. I have a mic. I know it looks like, oh yeah, right, he set it up. I literally just threw it on, threw it in the phone, and there you go. I wanted to do this real quick video because I think it shines a light on the musician community and in the I don't want to say the arts community, but musicians, especially playing live on stage and having gear that you got to keep track of your property. Shines a light on a community that I think when the going gets tough and the tough get going, there's a lot of respect between people that don't even know each other. So yesterday, I'll give you a preface. Yesterday I played a gig at my state fair, and there was a lot of logistical stuff that we didn't know what we were going to have or not have. So it's kind of one of those moments where you bring it, and if you don't need it, then cool. And if you do, you have it. So I brought a piece of gear, and I'll get into that in a second. So we get there, we had some logistical road bumps that we had to try to get over, and then we had one, head-on collision with one. So it went quickly from being an organized load in, you're taking care of your own stuff, getting it on the stage, all that, to all hands on deck. If it's in the vehicle, it needs to go. And you might not even take your own stuff. It needs to go. Get it there. So unfortunately, we ran into one of those situations. And we had to roll with it, right? Which is usual. So here's where we are. We're sitting there. We get everything to the stage. We get everything set up, hooked up. We play the stuff. We get done with our sets. And we're all getting stuff loaded back in the truck. Now, I had my wife and my dad who were helping me load my stuff into the truck. But I sat there and I know that there was things that other people had loaded that was of mine that I saw them load, and it was just to help give hands for loadout, which is always appreciated. So I'm sitting there and I'm literally in the bed of the truck, just moving stuff in. I've got wife and dad bringing stuff to me. I'm putting it in the truck exactly how I want it to be transported. So get everything done. We end up getting home later on. Get everything unpacked. My wife and I are sitting here and we're going, "Do we have everything?" And then she goes, "Your cable snake." So I've got it's an 8-channel input for return cable snake. And it's, I want to say 200 feet, 250 feet, something like that. It's a long cable snake. I basically bought the biggest input, biggest output, longest snake that you can to be all XLR. I wanted to be able to know that I can do all of my drum set sends to the console or to the board, so I know no matter what's going on with the band, I'm good to go. So it was good, like $350 piece, and it's still in good condition. So we're sitting there and we're like, where is it? So freak out moment, right? Sitting there, we're thinking all over the place. My wife's giving ideas of maybe it's here, maybe it's there. And I'm saying in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's at the stage. It's got to be at the stage. Literally, there's no other place that it could be other than the stage right now. I knew that from being the person who packed out and packed in. And I thought, it could be inside the truck cab, but likely it is still at the stage. I didn't know why, but I just had that feeling. So I text the girl that I play for, and I say, "Hey, we're looking for this, blah, blah, blah." She sends out a mass text of everybody. hey, does anybody know where blah, 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 and trying to find the stage snake for Leighton. And go through all last night and then into this morning. Everybody, nope, not from our crew, nope, we didn't see anything like that. So I'm thinking, okay, this is great. Did I just kiss a, $200 and some dollar, $300 piece of gear goodbye, right? And so here's what ended up happening. This is what's funny. So we have a really great community between musicians. I would say that, and I can proudly, confidently say that now. Because whenever you come across gear, you are given three choices. You can either take it, you can either leave it, as far as like, yep, it's not my property, it's not my issue, forget about it. Or you can try to figure out whose it is and get a hold of them or contact them and let them know that it's here, right? So it's kind of like leaving your insurance card, right? If you hit somebody and you're like, crap, I gotta go, you say, here's my number, this is my name, blah, 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 give them your information, and you can leave at that point because you still have given them the awareness of it. So, I'm sitting there, and mind you, the people that the girl I play for, that she's texting, I don't have all their numbers saved, so they're just coming in as random numbers. I get this text message sometime this afternoon, and it was, we found a cable, an 8-channel cable snake at the such and such stage. And I sat there, and at first I thought it was actually from our part, or from somebody within the group, so I was going to give them, like, hey, take it to, that location for them, blah, 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 and they're like, have somebody come and get it. And I figured out that somebody had actually found it. So, here's what it gets into. I'm not going to give their number out or anything like that. If you happen to watch this, if you look at my name, and then I ended up, texting them back, and it was basically like a confirmation of like, yes, I'm that person, yes. Well, here's the reason, and I'll pause this for a second. So, I have on here, like, property of my name and then my number, right? Now, I have that so that literally, if somebody finds my stuff, they know how to get a hold of me. So, it was kind of one of those little practice things where I'm like, I'm just going to do it. That way it's just in case. I never know if it'll happen. So you know who you are. If you see this, I appreciate it. That person didn't do choice 1. They didn't do choice 2. They didn't just sit there and go, not my deal. I'm gonna leave that. I'm out. They did the really cool thing. They said, hey, look, there's a name. There's a number. If found. Texting. Hey, we found your stage snake. It is at this location. At that point, boom, I was able to call the girl that I play for, say, hey, somebody's found the stage snake, which she was really thrilled about. She's like, oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. She was able to go down, get it from the stage, bring it back up, and I was able to meet her and get it. So that's a big thing. Musicians, we have an incredible community. I can honestly say, and we're not the only community out there. I know that like car guys will be the same thing. I know that motorcycle riders, they are the same thing. It's like this thing of like an unspoken rule. You don't steal the other musician's gear, right? You don't touch their stuff necessarily without their permission. You don't just go, if you're a drummer, you don't just go up to another drummer's drum set and just get on it and play. You sit there, you start talking, and then you kind of allow them to offer like, yeah, man, you want to sit down and have a crack at it? that's the community that we have. So it was a really cool thing that happened. I'm glad that it happened. I was in kind of one of those situations where I'm like, I am probably going to have to be willing to kiss it goodbye, which I guess I can honestly say I was somewhat prepared for, but I also didn't really want to do that. So, yeah, it was a really cool thing that happened. I hope that I don't have to have that situation happen ever again. Because I had to drive like 30 to 40 minutes to the location. It was a traveling endeavor to get there. Nothing crazy, just a long trip. And I got off work and I'm like, I gotta get up there, get it. Yeah. So she knows that I am appreciative of her for going down and getting it for me. She was able to go in right away into the fair and grab it from the stage and basically meet me out in a campsite and meet up that way. So worked out really well. So yeah, maybe a long video, I'm sorry, but I think situations like this, a little bit impromptu, sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's best. Obviously, as you can tell, I have a little bit of work to do. So, yeah. By the way, I did not do any drum cam videos from this gig. We only had 15 minutes to load in, get everything set up, and do the quickest sound check ever, and the quickest, like, not only a line check, but a sound check. We encountered some things that made it more stressful. And the last thing that I had time to do was set up a stand and set the camera up and do all that stuff. And really, unfortunately, we even had some different sound difficulties that you guys wouldn't have really had that great a quality of audio anyway. So really, it was just kind of more of a, you get up there, you got 15 minutes, get everything set up, get everything good, ready, boom, chalk, and then they get introduced, you're off to the races, and then you get done. So it was fun, definitely fun. There might be more in the future from that person. So yeah, it was one of those deals. Plus, it's all their original stuff, and I don't know. I don't like the idea of me posting material on here whenever it's their personal, like their actual written songs. They wrote the songs, so yeah, didn't really feel comfortable about that anyway. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. And y'all are in the community. We rock. It's very proud to be a part of it. And if you happen to be that person, I think it was a 515. So it was a Des Moines area code. If you know who you are that picked up the stage snake, saw it, and you decided to text that person and let them know that the stage snake was still at that stage, I appreciate you. So it was very nice to know that somebody didn't just do option one or even option two. You could have sat there, just left it, and went on with your life, but you didn't. You texted somebody, and in my personal opinion, if you're an artist or a musician, I'm of the opinion that, you know what, you never know if something maybe happens and you lose something of yours down the road, and you have it marked of your name and your number, and somebody's going to do that back to you. So you rock. Good on you. That is Iowa Nice, if there ever was Iowa Nice. Yeah, Impromptu video done.